Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are looking at all the new cards for Knights of the Frozen Throne. Let's click here on Collection. So to see them, you go into crafting mode, and then you click here for Frozen Throne. Last time we looked at the Paladin, this time we're looking at the Priest cards. The first card we have is a 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 health creature called Shadow Ascent. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +1/+1. This card in particular seems like it's better than I can imagine at least 3 or 4 other cards that I've seen that have less attack and less health themselves. And they only add like +1 attack at the end of a turn or +1 health. That being said, this card specifically is missing stealth, and the other cards usually do have stealth, so they're guaranteed to be more difficult to kill. You could easily play this on the second turn, get it killed on the second turn before there's even another minion on the field for it to use its ability. Next card we have is a 2 mana spell called Spirit Lash. Lifesteal, deal 1 damage to all minions. So we finally figured out what Lifesteal did. It heals your hero for every ability that it does. If you hover over some cards, maybe you have to hover over these cards. Well, it was working for a second there. It told me what Lifesteal did. Now it doesn't want to. I think they probably need another update. Moving on, 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health creature called Acolyte of Agony, Lifesteal. I think it will be interesting if we see a lot of neutral cards with Lifesteal added. It will certainly be something to keep an eye out for. It will also make a lot of 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health creatures that don't have Lifesteal less likely to be played. For the Priest in particular, having Lifesteal is going to be very helpful due to cards that get an increased attack for every time something is healed. Next we have is a 4 mana spell called Eternal Servitude. Discover a friendly minion that died this game and summon it. You could probably play this pretty strategically. Remember, Discover gives you 3 random options, it seems. So if you've lost like 20 minions, you won't get a pick of 20. You only get 3 random ones. They've never really added any ability to pick between more than 3. Probably just to save time more than anything else. Next card we have is a 5 mana spell called Devour Mind. Copy 3 cards in your opponent's deck and add them to your hand. For a Priest, I'm not sure this is a card worth playing. I've never really been a fan of stealing your opponent's cards. There's no guarantee whether that you'll get anything good there. It's very random. Next card we have is a 6 mana spell called Embrace Darkness. A lot of spells. Choose an enemy minion at the start of your turn. Gain control of it. This just seems a little bit expensive to get control of an enemy minion at the start of your turn, because you have to go a full turn for that. I don't think that's going to get played very often. Next we have a 6 mana spell. Summon a 5/5 copy of a random minion in your deck. This is probably not a terrible card for the Priest, honestly. It's only 1 mana more expensive than if you just summoned a 5/5 with no special ability. So this might be playable, particularly if you don't have any better cards. This is one of those cards that would be very helpful for new players if they had this and some other good cards, but they couldn't quite fill out 30 great cards in a deck. But a lot of spells here. I guess the priest already had enough characters, in their opinion. Next we have a legendary creature that is 7 mana, 4 attack, 6 health, called Archbishop Benedictus. Battlecry, shuffle a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck. Really? This is insane. So you could potentially play this on the 7th turn, and barring any other modification of the deck, you would have 23 cards in your deck and 23 cards in your opponent's deck. You add that together, you have 46 cards in your deck now. That's pretty crazy. Now, there's nothing that really synergizes with that other than potentially making your opponent draw cards. I suppose this works best with the cards that make you draw a card every time a minion is healed, because now you could draw even more cards, which I guess that makes some sense. But where are you going to get all that mana to play that extra 23 plus cards you might get? Because you could play this before the 7th turn, even if you can get some extra mana somewhere as a priest. I don't know if people are really going to play that one. It's very interesting, but it needs something like 2 expansions from now, when they've forgotten about it, that does something really crazy. And it probably will be one of these cards that works really great a year or 2 from now in Wild, but in Standard play it will have already been banned. So Blizzard will have forgotten about it and its effects, and not consider it when making new cards. Here we have a 8 mana hero replacement. These hero replacements are different costs every now and then, called Shadow Reaper Anduin. Battlecry, destroy all minions with 5 or more attack, 5 armor, 2. And a new ability called Void Form. Deal 2 damage after you play a card, refresh this. Interesting. So I could see this being used a few times per turn if you have some other cheap cards to play with it, but that doesn't fully make it the best thing ever. Like, you're still only gonna deal 2 damage and then destroy all minions with 5 or more attack. Just kind of makes the field empty. This feels like a card that would just slow down gameplay on the 8th turn, instead of potentially, if your field or your opponent field had some of those 10 health, 10 attack creatures, and was about to win, it might change the outcome for 1 turn, maybe 2 turns, but then your opponent will just summon their next card that they have that's above 5. Yeah, I don't think very many people are going to want to play this, because it doesn't seem like it wins the game. It seems like it just slows down the inevitable loss. Finally, we have a 9 mana, 4 attack, 8 health creature called the Obsidian Statue. It has Taunt and Lifesteal and a Death Rattle to destroy a random enemy minion. I could see playing this. There are some times where having a Taunt in the Priest would be very, very useful. Let's see if we can come over the Priest. Here's the Northshire Clerk, that whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. I imagine you would want that very often if you were going to play the legendary that gave you an entire copy of your opponent's deck. And then there is another card that is, I believe, a neutral card. Yes, it is. That gains attack every time you're healed. And there's actually a couple different ways to summon Light Warden Gains 2 attack every time a character is healed. That would still work very well with the priest. And then there's a more powerful version of that card that gains 2 attack every time you're healed, but it starts off a little bit higher. So with lifesteal in particular out there, that these cards are going to synergize better than they ever have before. Let's see, can I find it though? It's I believe a 4-mana card. There's too many neutral cards though. I'm starting to realize this, and here's some Cabal cards that they won't ever do that again. I'm pretty sure. Did I miss it? Am I gonna embarrass myself again? I could probably just type in healed and that would help me find it. Yeah, I need to type in healed. Like, you can't even see the forest for the trees now. Really? Is the other card a priest card? Do I not own the other card? No, I'm looking at all of the... Here it is. Holy Champion. Whenever a character is healed, gain 2 attack. So, I had moved to the standard selection. This one is one of the banned wild cards. So in your wild deck in particular, this one is also whenever a character is healed, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So he would be not too bad either. Or even something like this. Whenever a character is healed, give Cthulhu +1/1. Then you can play Cthulhu. This one, not so much. Well, that's it for the priest cards. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.